So today we're going to focus on building a brand so that your clients know exactly who you are and what you offer. But in order for your clients to know who you are, what you offer, you have to know who you are. So I was able to share this at a seminar that I just did, and I got a lot of good feedback about it. So I wanted to make sure that I was also giving it to my audience, that I was also giving it to my clients and people that I work with as well. So a little bit about myself, like I told you earlier, I'm a design strategist, author, inspirational speaker. Some fun facts about me is I love elephants, and my mom and everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I want to adopt an elephant. I love elephants. I love God, people, music, and most importantly, I love my family. I try my best to make sure that I don't work too hard and that I put them first. And I have Charlie again. She's on here. She will definitely be helping us throughout. She helps me with structure, because also working with my brain, I realized that I can't do it by myself. I try to wear all hats. I try to do everything from designing to talking with the customers to sending emails to going and pick up the printing material, all this and that. And I became stressed and I wanted to stop. And I almost lost my mind, to be honest, because I was trying to do so much. So you have to understand that you have to put people and systems in place so that you are able to elevate. So today you're going to learn 5 things, and those 5 things are your fundamentals, your strategy, your design elements, your assets, and your content. I don't know if you guys were able to download this booklet, but I sent it in the email as well. But inside this booklet, this is what I will be going by today. This is the basis. I created this throughout different things, different times, and just working with different clients and listening to the feedback and the questions that most people gave me. So I created this booklet, and when you first open it or when you first get there, you'll be able to see all the content, what's inside it. So you have your strategy on how to make sure that you are planning your brand, making sure that you know your brand name, your mission. I asked you guys in the beginning, the question was, who are you? What is your brand? And I wanted to see if everyone had that 2-minute pitch, or that pitch to where I knew exactly who you are, what you offer, and I knew right then if I was going to be able to get and buy into who you are. It's your hook. So make sure when you're introducing yourself, when you are walking into that room, when you're talking to someone on that phone, that you're able to quickly say who you are, what you represent, and the services that you provide. This is what's going to make people want to know more about you, get your services, get your product, or even invest in who you are. And as you go further, this is where I'm at right here. I'm talking about your brand fundamentals. I don't know what page it is in the PDF, but like I said, we're going to be talking about those 5 key elements to achieve brand clarity. And the very first one is fundamentals. And when you are working with the brand fundamentals, this is your core. This is exactly what you need. This is the most important thing, because this is where you realize who you are, your mission. You want to make sure that you have that mission statement. A lot of times we know, okay, well, I want to sell hair. Okay, you want to sell hair, well, what's behind it? Do you know what audience that you're gonna target? But most importantly, what's your mission? Are you just selling hair to make money, or are you selling hair to those cancer patients that, you know, has lost their hair and they need wigs and they need things like that? What's your story? What made you want to sell hair? Is it because you maybe experience hair loss, or is it because you selling hair because you want to make sure that everyone feels beautiful? Because I always was told, and Cedric always tell me this, if you look good, you feel good, then you're going to show up and you're going to do good. So it's something that I go by, something that I live by as well. So not only do you have your mission, because that mission is going to be, it's what identifies you. It's going to be able to identify the audience that and it's going to help you stay on track. Meaning your mission is what you think about and what you hold your key values, your core fundamentals, your core elements and values to. And then once you get that and once it's clear, then you understand also your story. Because in that story, there's going to be times, like I told you earlier, that you might go crazy because you have so much to do and you have this client or this customer that's always just picking. Like they don't know, they don't understand. Like on my website, I have my hours. Here, there, everything is set. So that's when you pick up that story that you wrote down and you realize, like, this is why I started. I started because I have a passion. And I know I'm tired right now, but and refocus and start back over. And it's okay to reset. It's okay to restart. It's okay to understand why. Why did I start this nonprofit? I started this nonprofit because I know what it was like being a child and not being able to have X, Y, and Z. And I don't want other kids to have to grow up and don't have that love and that support. Mm-hmm. Does everyone know why they started their brand? What is your story? Can anyone share with me, or share with us their
story? Kim, this is Cece. I can share mine.
Awesome, thank you.
I think my story balances back to, first of all, I started in the beauty industry 19 years ago. And I was living my own, struggle in life and just coming into understanding who I was, what God had purposed me to be. And then I began to sit down and hear other women's story and where they had succeeded and also where a lot of women were stuck. So the I Am CC Silliman brand was being able to deal with those inadequacies, to deal with the broken parts of you, to be able to build, to be able to inspire, empower, and motivate women to become the best version of themselves via my experience as a hairstylist from behind the chair. And helping women to become the best version of themselves is not only about helping them on the outer part, but it's also speaking to the inner part of them. So that's the biggest reason that the IMCC Silliman brand was birthed, was being able to not only share my story, but also to be able to lock into other women's stories as well and help them speak their truths. So I hope that's clear enough.
That's awesome. And CC, let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a time where you had to really reach back your beginning and understand, like, this is why I started, like,
yeah, we had this conversation. So I'll just go here. Me and Kim had to kind of remind me of who I was. I'll be honest with you, because as you begin to go on the journey, especially now being 19 years in, life has taken a turn tremendously in the last 19 years. And Kim knows my personal story more so over the last year. I lost a very significant person in my life, that being my sister. And a lot of who I was intertwined into her story as well, because she was a hairstylist as well. So for a moment, my passion left. Nothing was clear anymore. And I just kind of went in autopilot, and I'm just there with everything that I know God purposed me to be. But it wasn't until I had that conversation, honestly, the other day, when and sometimes it takes somebody to remind you of who you are and to go back and revisit as to why God purposed you and positioned you to be where you are in your life right now. And that's honestly the truth. So yeah, we're back at the point of having to rebirth and rebrand the brand itself. So yeah.
And so I wanted to share this with you. This is kind of a side note, but I want you guys to know that right now we are in isolation.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of people aren't using this wisely. A lot of people are just sleeping the day away. A lot of people are just eating, just doing different things, just really letting their minds become idle. And this time, we as entrepreneurs, we as women, we have to make sure that we are taking the necessary steps in order to think ahead, think of the future. We have to use this time to create those brands. Remember why we started those brands. Remember why we need brand balance and boundaries. And the reason why I said balance and boundaries, because we have to not allow, and I'm guilty of this, we cannot allow our personal feelings and what's going on in our personal life affect where we're going with our brains. Meaning sometimes you have to, at all times, you have to make sure that you establish those boundaries with your mission and in your story so that you know when to say no. Me, I want to help everyone. So I was burning out. I was stressed. I wasn't sleeping. And then I realized I have not established boundaries. I haven't established brand balance. So I want to make sure that you all know that part of the brand fundamentals, that you are establishing balance, that you are establishing boundaries. Me, for what I'm working on as well, because, you know, I don't know it all, I'm learning as well. I'm establishing boundaries because a lot of times people will see me on social media, and normally I jump on real quick or I post something and then I jump off. But a lot of times people don't understand that boundary. Hey, it's this time to that time and she's working. Another example, my dad, he calls all the time and I'm telling him, okay, Dad, you know, I'm trying to work between 10 to 5. You know, and you have to understand, and your family also has to understand when you're working. A lot of us work from home. We don't go outside of the home and we work. So we have to have those hours. We have to let the kids know, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. So make sure that you all are doing the things that you need. And I'm pretty sure one of my kids during this webinar is going to jump in or come inside to ask me a question. But again, you have to make sure you have balance. You have to know your brand message, and that brand message is being able to identify your core offering, identify what you offer, what your services are, and things of that nature. So we talk about brand fundamentals, which is very, very important. This is what we need in order to build that basic structure. We need to make sure, we have to also know that we can't rush this process. It's not going to come overnight. You're going to have to understand that, okay, this is my story. This is my purpose. A lot of times we're looking for our story, or we're looking for our purpose, and it's right there. Have you ever heard that your purpose comes through pain? I know I was able to really figure out who I was and identify who I was within my brand when I went through the most traumatic things in my life. And so the next one is a brand strategy. This is where I need you guys to make sure that you have pen and you have paper, and that you are writing down who you are, what your expertise is, what industry that you're targeting. And you have to also know what sets you apart from your competitors, and you have to create that consistent workspace. So knowing your expertise, with me, I have found out that most of the people that I gravitate to are in the beauty industry. And that's probably because I love beauty. I love makeup. You guys know I had a cosmetics line. I love to look good. I just gravitate to that. So a lot of times, most of the people that I attract are in the beauty industry, or they are in a nonprofit industry. And I think most of the people that's on the webinar are either in the beauty industry in some sort, or they are a nonprofit, or they have some kids. I understand my expertise. I understand my industry. And with that being said, I can't go into a hospital and start talking about beauty, because that's not my audience. That is not my niche. So they will not be able to relate. I might have a few people that may be able to to relate, but I know that I need to go to hair shows. I know I need to go to cosmetics events. I know that I need to target that audience so that they understand what I offer. And that's when you know what you offer. I know I'm an author. I like to write books. I know I like to interact with other authors. So therefore, I need to make sure that I am creating everything that I offer to gravitate to those authors. And then I remember when I first started out, I used to tell people, and Kawana, you might remember this, I used to tell people that they need to stop watching their competitors. And the reason for that, it can go both ways.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because sometimes we get so caught up into what someone else is doing that we forget and we lose focus on what we have. And I can't tell you how many times I've talked to different clients and they say, hey, Kim, can you create something that looks like this? I need it just like that. And I'll be quick to say, no, I can't create that like that, because that's not who you are. And a lot of times when you don't know who you are or who you are targeting, that's when you lose focus, and that's when you burn out, and that's when you quit. A lot of businesses quit immediately because they are so caught up in their competitors and they get intimidated, or that fear sink in, and that's what the devil wants. He wants you to be fearful so that you cannot elevate, so that you cannot shift into what God has created you to be. Also, now I tell you to, yes, look at your competitors, see what they offer. Don't get caught up but know what is key important within you that will be able to set you apart. No, okay, so I know that I want to sell hair. That's my industry. But what sets you apart from other people that sell hair? Because a lot of times people jump on because they want fast money, but what's keeping you going on? What's the longevity? What sets you apart? And anyone can start a hairline. Anyone can do that. But you have to understand what you offer, how you are going to show that to your industry. And then within that, you're able to create that workspace. And in that workspace, that's where you have everything that you need. That's where you have your basic fundamentals. You have the things in order to move to the next step. And your workspace, a lot of times people say, well, Kim, I can't start because I don't have a location. Kim, I don't have this, I don't have that. You have to start exactly where you are. Hey, Nisha, I didn't know you was on the webinar. But a lot of times people are afraid to start because they don't think they have enough. You have to start just where you are and be able to build from there, be able to move forward. So we talked about brand fundamentals, we talked about the brand strategy, and now we're going to talk about the fun part. This is my expertise. This is the design part. And this is where you use everything that you are creating right now, from what you wrote down from in your mission, what you wrote down in your story, what you wrote down, all of those things that you wrote down. This is when you start bringing and you kind of giving it an approach to a visual approach. And if you can look on the screen, you will see my logo. So with that logo, I wanted to make sure that it stood out. I wanted to make sure that it was clean, that it was not busy, because you have to understand what you put out is what you get in. If you put out a busy logo with all these colors and all over the place, then you're gonna probably attract those type of people. I know at first I was all over the place. I had purple and orange and everything. But as time has went and I've stepped back, I've reset, I refocused, I understand, okay, I needed to be clean. I needed to get to the point, and I needed to be powerful. I need to make sure that my logo tells who I am. And a lot of times people are going to see that logo before they even see you. So if I put a logo that has 3 different fonts, 4 different fonts, and so many different colors, so many different elements, then I'm losing it. I'm losing you. And then sometimes people like to have so many tricks in a logo. You know, you don't need all those tricks. You need something simple, straight to it. You might want to play on the words. You might want to play on not using a Y, but using an I. That's fine. But you don't want to put so many different tricks, because this, again, you will lose your audience. Something that I will tell you throughout the webinar is, if you're confused, then your customers or your clients are confused. You will lose money and you will lose that person because you're confused. You don't know. Also, you want to make sure that you have brand fonts, brand textures. And again, you see my mood board here on the screen, and you see my colors. If you look on the screen, if you look on my business cards, I have some business cards. If you look here on my t-shirt, you see my colors are consistent. You see on the front of the book, you see my colors are consistent. So you have to make sure that you are consistent throughout, because again, if you're inconsistent, no one is going to be able to keep track. They will think you have multiple businesses. Another thing I want to let you guys know, I have different hats. I have different brands. I realized within the last year or so that I have to make them uniform. If they're all over the place, you will not get booked, or you will not be able, like for speaking and things like that. Someone was booking for speaking and they won't realize, hey, okay, so she's a cosmetics owner as well. You have to make sure that everything is consistent all the way around. For instance, I am Kimberly Ann. So underneath that, you have Kimberly Ann Design Studio. You have Trust Me Cosmetics by Kimberly Ann. Everything falls underneath the brand Kimberly Ann. It's just like I am CC. Underneath hers, everything falls smoothly. You know there's an easy flow. You understand, hey, when I sit in her chair, not only is she going to make me feel good, but she's also going to help me elevate my personal, my appearance, and everything. So I want to make sure that I'm going back to her and I'm utilizing her as well. this mood board, if you see, I like to create mood boards when I work with clients, because this is what's going to set the tone for your brand. This is what you will be able to hand off to another designer. Let's say something comes up and we're not able to work together. At least you will have that framework of your brand to pass on to someone else. So you have the colors, the code numbers, the different textures and things of that nature. So this is also very key when creating a brand, when creating who you are and things of that nature and what your brand consists of. Before I move on any further, does anyone have any questions about anything that we've talked about so
Can you hear me?
far? I can hear you good.
Okay. So my question is how to find, the motivation. Like I have motivation and I'm ready to start, getting back into the hair business. I've been gone for about 5 months and I went and I got a regular job because I was just over it. I just got so many things start happening in my life. My grandfather got really, really sick and it just started to be too much. I'm not trying to be emotional, but I just lost I just lost the feeling like I don't know, I just didn't want to do it anymore. But then yesterday I started working with my new job and my boss, she cussed me out.
Oh, wow.
It made me feel like, okay, yeah, I think I'm ready to get back into the hair business because I'm used to being my own boss. So, yeah, and when I seen this, I was like, I had to get back into this because I got to get that thrive back. My goals. I have a lot of goals. I have vision boards and everything, but I just kind of took everything down and I just kind of secluded myself. I was just like, I'm done with hair, period. I don't want to do it anymore. So, yeah, I want to get back in. And my question is, how do I start over? I mean, I've lost some clients. I still have some, but how do I start over? How do I know who the people I need to get back on? Like Facebook, I'll post something, it seems like I only get like 3 or 4 likes, maybe 20 sometime, but I don't get a lot of likes. So how do I get back to where I was?
So pretty much you have to go back to your why. You have to know why you started. You have to also understand why you stopped too. Because if you don't understand why you stopped, you will eventually keep going around in circles. But for you, what I suggest to anyone is to consider to take a drawback. And just because your boss cussed you out, you cannot allow that to stop you from where you are. And the reason why I say that is because with me, I started going full time when I was working at a jewelry company as their in-house graphic designer, and we ended up having a car accident. So therefore, I was pushed to work from home. But I know all the hell that I was going through at that job because they were working me hours, long hours. I was the only person. My boss wasn't friendly at all, and I know where I was. I know what I felt like. But because I stayed there and I was going to continue to stay there and do my job on the side, God knew I was getting tired and that I was frustrated. So sometimes he will put things in our way and make us realize, okay, you won't move, so let me move you. And that's what he did for me. And that's why I was able to go on and start doing freelance, full-time freelance. Also, I wanted to touch this as well. I was told, and I know this, just because you only get 2-3 likes, maybe you said 22 likes or 24 likes, that does not mean people don't see you. Continue to put that content out there. People are watching. They may just not be liking, but if you continue to put that out there and you're genuine and you're transparent and you showing like, this is my work, this is what I do, this is what I love, then that will come. You also have to my godmother passed away a few years ago. And that's why I started Trust Me Cosmetics. It was in honor of her. She passed away from pancreatic cancer, which you kind of know this story because I know I've used you before as makeup artist and hair and stuff like that. But you have to use what hurt you to motivate you to keep going. Because again, if you win, everyone attached to you, they win. If you quit, then they quit. So especially you have young kids, so you have to make sure that you are building that and you know why you started. Why did I start? I started because I love doing hair. I started because as a little girl, my hair was nappy and my mama didn't keep my hair combed. So let me make sure that I help other people, things of that nature. But just know why you started. Use everything around you, everything that you've been through. Use all of that in order to build your purpose, in order to succeed. Yes, you know how your boss pushed you out. So therefore you use that not to, when you start hiring your employees, not to treat them that way. I know I definitely had to get different things that I've been through and realize I don't want to treat people like that because I don't want them to feel that way. I want to grow and I want to make sure that my brand is consistent. But you keep on doing what you're doing. You keep on, creating your wigs, creating your pictures, doing your hair and posts, because that's what people want to see. They want to see you do that, and that's how you're going to retain your clients. That's how you're going to go back and dig on your clients and pull them back and let them know, hey, I'm back, I'm better, I'm not going anywhere, and this is what I have to offer. Did that help? Okay, awesome. So does anyone else have any questions before we move on?
Hey, Kim. Can you address the situation with the logo, with one of my logos that we spoke about on yesterday, just to kind of give everybody an idea of what was going on with that and the similarities with the other one?
So with your logo, you want to make sure that your logo represents who you are and what you offer. Yesterday, I was just strolling on social media. Well, I had did it a few times, and I was strolling on social media, and I saw Jessica's logo, and then I just did a interview. A lady from Shreveport drove to Dallas and did an interview on me, and I saw her logo. I'm like, oh, they look similar. What's the difference? I kind of got confused, and so I immediately, at first, I wasn't going to do it, but I'm like, no, I have to, because my eye sees things that the average person doesn't see. If you're a teacher, you see things that I wouldn't see, or a hairstylist, you're gonna be able to see, hey, her closure ain't done right, and things like that. So I was able to see that, and I was like, hey, your logos, it looks good, but it looks similar to someone else's. So you want to make sure that your logo is who you are, because again, people are gonna see that logo before they even see you. So if they see a logo that looks like someone else, then they're gonna be like, something is off here. I'm not understanding. And that's why I told you earlier, I try not to design based off of somebody else's, because people come often and say, hey, Kim, can you design it just like this but change the colors? No, for one, that's against the law. For two, that's not gonna work. And most importantly, that's not who you are. So you want to make sure that the logo is unique. You want to make sure that it stands out and that it's yours, because that's what's going to attract your clients, your customers moving forward. Anybody else have any questions about logos, mood boards, fonts, things, colors, things of that nature?
Kim, a question would be, since we're in a reset for me, would that, and this may be something we discuss off, but I'm just going to ask, do I get a mood board too? Do I get a mood board too? Because that's something that we have to create on our own. I'm curious.
Yes, you get a mood board, and it's gonna have all the colors, because basically with CeCe's brand, her brand is already established. We worked together, I don't know how many years. It's been a long time. Her brand is established now. Like she said, it's a reset button. It's time to, bring it all together. It's time to make it uniform, because she is awesome at everything that she does. And that's the same way with Kawana. We've been working together forever. I don't know, 12 years, maybe from when I first started designing. And we are at that point where we're hitting the reset button as well, to make sure that her brand is uniform. And she's also able now to understand her niche, and she's able to elevate and move off of that as well. Veronica, I see you just jumped in. Did you have a question?
Yes, yes, I did. I, this is like, of course, even though I've been somewhat active, it's still brand new to me, and And, and I would say it's definitely a, reset for me as well, basically jumping on my own ship and the boarding, to what it is that I'm trying to do. But I'd never heard of a mood board before. I thought that was interesting. And then also, I never really, as far as the logo, I guess I would like to know, how would you go about really choosing what type of logo that would go with me, as far as who I am and what it is that I do.
Okay. Okay. So pretty much, the mood board is kind of like the blueprints to your home. It's your roadmap. It's what you, everything that you need is right there. So you have like your primary logo, and then you have a secondary logo or alternate logo. If you see on the side of the on the screen, you see like the S and the S. That's my secondary logo. So you want to make sure that you have all of those elements in on that mood board, like I said, to pass off to another designer, or just so that you can have. And then to answer your question on how do you understand your logo, I have a list of questions. It's called a creative brief. And on that creative brief, it kind of breaks down everything that you need. It breaks down questions asking, okay, so what's your primary colors? You have to make sure that you know your colors and what they mean. Purple means royalty, so they can you kind of think on, okay, so my brand is royal, things of that nature. I think Nisha's brand is purple and hers is royal. Kawana's was also. So you have to study color theory, and I have a whole nother section, a whole nother lesson on color theory and how color strikes emotion. And so also in that creative brief, it's like your name. How do you want your logo spelled, your words to your logo spelled? Is it better to have a text-based logo? Is it better to have a graphic-based logo? Is it better to have both? So when it comes to your logo and you understanding it, you have to take time, because your logo is like your name. Your mom and your dad, they took time trying to figure out, what am I going to name my baby? What am I going to name them? And it's the same way. You have to birth this thing, and you have to understand that it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And just because Janine has it together, it doesn't mean that me, Veronica, I don't have it. It just means that I need to nurture it a little bit more and spend a little bit more time in understanding what my story is and what my mission. Once you develop your story, your mission, and those fundamentals, when it gets to the design part, then you'll be able to know who you are, and you'll be able to create those colors and those textures. So everything will just fall into place, but you can't rush it. Did that answer? I think you're muted because I can't hear you.
Yes, it did. It did help.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so moving forward, the brand fundamentals, the brand strategy, the brand design, we are going to move to the exits. And this is where we use all those the logo, and that's where we use everything that we created with the colors. And that's when we take it from the computer, and that's when we started putting it on collateral. That's when we start to put it out there everywhere. And I always used to say, and still say, you are a walking billboard. You are your brand. So make sure that when you are out there, when you just maybe going to the grocery store, that you have maybe your t-shirt or your hat on with your logo, that you have your business cards with your logo, because people learn in threes. So if they go to social media and they see your logo, they see you talking about it, okay, they see you once. Then they go outside, they see flyers, and they see a billboard or something with your logo on it. That's another time. And then let's say, for instance, a word of mouth. Someone say, hey, this is what I have. This is who I use to do my makeup. So they've learned it in threes. So therefore they want to know, who is this? Who is Jessica Howard? Who is Body Rehab by Jess? They want to know what you offer, and that's when it sticks in their head. That's when they get it. That's when they recognize, this is a brand. I need to work with them. I need to know who they are. So this, again, it goes back to this. You have it on your shirts. You have it on on your bumper stickers. You have your logo everywhere. You are taking those flyers and those push cards to the stores. You're putting them up everywhere, and you're making sure that people know what you offer. Also, during this step, you want to make sure that you have professional photography. And what's going to set you apart from someone that's just taking pictures with your phone, and someone has really took the time out to hire a professional photographer, that's going to show the difference, because I'm going to pick up that business card or that flyer to someone who has their products uniform. It's clear. I understand what's in there, because again, that also tells a story. You're building content for the next step that we're going to go to in the final step, but you're using these elements, these printed collaterals, you're using these pictures, making sure that your videos are high quality. Everything needs to be high quality. So that's why you have to take time. That's a lot of times what brands fail at, because I'm not going to sit here and say you have to have a professional photographer, but if I'm going to take pictures, I'm going to make sure that my background is clean. I'm going to make sure that I'm telling a story. I'm putting all the little key elements together, so when I do take that picture of that book, that it sells. Because have you ever went on something, and I've done this often because I like numbers and I like to study, and I post a picture with a crappy quality, and then I post a picture with a high quality. The picture with the high quality, I always get the more views and the more likes versus the picture that I just posted. I might get friends and family that might like that picture, but the people that actually are going to buy in, they will get it. And you have to also, again, going back to this, you have to know your target. Everyone is not your target. Everyone is not your customer, and it's okay. I ran into a incident when we were out in Florida, and I know I sent out, hey, I'm not going to be in the office. Hey, this is what it's going to be, X, Y, and Z. I followed every step, every single step. I sent out newsletters. I also changed my profile picture to that and everything, but I still had that client that did not understand and did not read. They felt that I had to be with them 24/7, I guess, and I wasn't allowed to go do anything. And that's because that client was not my client. I knew it at first, but sometimes we're so quick and want to take money that we're not studying and we're not understanding, like, this is not my client, and this is going to be a headache. But once you create structure, once you create clarity with who you are, then you will not be getting those clients. So you want to make sure that what you put out, that it is high quality, that it's genuine, that it's authentic. And that's a word that we have to definitely make sure that we are authentic with what we offer and who we are, that we know that balance, that we are able to say, hey, these are my office hours, and not reply outside of those office hours. I'm preaching to myself as well. So you, like I said, you want to make sure you have your business cards, you have your flyers, you have your push cards, you have your professional photography to go on those things, and that you have video. Nowadays, people watch videos before they read. I will be the first person to tell you, create videos, create that content, which is also going to be the next and final strategy. Create that content for the videos, from the videos, in order to push out there. Any questions so far? Anyone from the nonprofit world, do y'all have any questions? Because I know we've been talking a lot about beauty and things like that. And from the author standpoint, does anyone from the nonprofit world or the industry has anything?
No, this is really good stuff. It's some things that, I've talked to you about before, or just kind of learned from what you do. But some of this we're doing, but not to the level that we probably need to. So this is just really good information, and hearing from the other ladies as well. It's been good. And
a lot of times we have the pieces, we just have them all over the place. We don't have that consistent workflow or that consistent strategy, and that's where we kind of get stressed out. And especially with this is just a side note, when you are working together, and I know I've worked with a lot of people in a lot of different things, we fail to create systems and we fail to create contracts. We have to make sure we have contracts in place. And it's best to do the contract when there's nothing on the table, when it's the beginning, when your mind is fresh. That's just like a will. You want to make sure that you have that will when people in their sound mind and things of that nature, so you won't have heartache down the line. So establish again that boundary with that contract, so everyone knows what their roles are, so they know their tasks, they know their duties, and no one's bumping heads. Again, I've experienced that. I know Charlie, me and her have talked about that as well, and that's kind of how Charlie. Well, that's not how Charlie and I connected, but that's one of the ways that we connected. I was able to come inside her nonprofit that she had with someone, and I was kind of able to mediate with them, trying to show them, okay, this is what you might need to do, and this is what you might need to do. And we have to understand that it's okay to part ways. We don't have to stay with someone because we outgrow each other when it comes to business. Sometimes we see things differently. We might see them together in the beginning, and then we might grow our separate ways, and it's okay. You just learn from that, and you're able to go forward from there. But that's just a side note. So we talked about the fundamentals, we talked about the strategy, we talked about the design, and we talked about the brand access. So the final thing we're going to talk about is the brand content. So everything that we talked about, this is what we are going to use to put here, to put out to the world. We put the designs and stuff out there, the exit with the business cards. But now this is the bulk of it. This is the outside framework. This is what everyone will see. And when I talked about the content, you need to create a content calendar, in which I have, and I will send this over to you guys too for joining and for staying on and answering questions and talking. I'm going to send this all to you as a freebie. But that content calendar, it helps you to navigate and use all of those elements from the pictures and everything that you created to share with the world, to put on your website. And it's online as well as offline. And what I mean online and offline, you're able to share with online, because a lot of times we get caught up on social media. We get caught up on the computer that we forget and go out and reach the people outside. Right now we can't go outside, but we should now be strategizing and understanding, like, eventually the stay in place order will be lifted, so we will be able to go back out there. So when I go back out there, I'm gonna make sure I have flyers, I'm gonna make sure I have business cards, I'm gonna make sure I have my pitch together, I'm gonna make sure that my brand from my head to my feet is consistent, because I'm gonna be up in your face, I'm gonna be up in personal, letting you know who I am, what I offer, so that I can elevate. A lot of times we miss people because I'm a hairstylist, I'm just gonna post on social media, my social media looks great. But you're forgetting that there are older women that's not on social media. You're forgetting that there are beauty supplies that have so many people that walks in from every age, every color, every size. So you need to make sure that you are building a presence online as well as offline. And also with blog posts, blogs are jumping up everywhere. They're all over. And you have to monetize and use that as well. You have to know, okay, so I know that Nisha has a blog. So I know that I offer graphic design. So let me create something on there so that the traffic that comes to her website, I can possibly purchase an ad on her blog, and I can get those as well. So you have to make sure that you're using that. You have to use a podcast. I know I use my podcast, and I'm still building an audience on that, but that is something that's awesome. It's out there. People are able to listen to you in their cars, at work, while they're exercising, while they're doing all kind of things. And I know I listen to my podcast from everyone frequently, all the time. Newsletters, make sure you have the newsletters in place. Make sure you have a system so that you're not working so hard. I'm integrating Dubsado into my platform as well, because sometimes you're trying to do everything and you lose focus and it's too much. Make sure you have those keywords. So when you are posting on social media, you're using the hashtag CAD Studio. You're using the hashtag lupus awareness. You're using the hashtag that you have, which are those keywords, so people are able to find you, they're able to search you, and that they know exactly how to get in contact with you. Does anyone have any questions about the content calendar, websites, anything? Also, before you guys answer that question, on your website, you want to make sure that your website that is easy to navigate. It doesn't have all these things that's jumping around, that's all over the place, because people are going to their website to get information, to purchase, and that's it. Honestly, there are very rare people, maybe if you're trying to get someone to sponsor or something like that, it's very rare that someone will read the about section on your website. We like to put it there because everyone wants people to know who I am and it's all about me. But you have to get out of that me mentality, because when you are offering a product or a service, it's not about you. It's about the customer. It's about the client. It's about what they want. And a lot of times we try to create things based off of what we want. Yes, we have to use that, but we cannot stop there, because everyone don't like blush like me. Everyone don't like rose gold like me. So I have to make sure that I am putting out the content for others, and it's not just about me. So again, does anyone have any questions so far about anything?
I would need help with a website. I do not have a website. And even when I was working in the salon, I didn't have a website either. So I would need help with that.
Okay. And I definitely can help you with that. When it comes to the websites, you want to make sure you lay out everything that you want to make sure that you lay out structure, because again, people don't read, but at least you have it there to cover you at the end, or if something was to happen. You know, after 30 minutes, I can't do your hair. There's a how do you stylists do it if you're not there by a certain time?
No call, no show fee.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You
So
got it.
you want to make sure all that's on your website. You want to make sure that your terms and conditions are right there. A lot of times we don't like to target or to talk about the money, but we have to talk about the money. We have to do it, because at the end of the day, yes, it's a brand, but yes, I need to make money. That's like no matter what it is, we have to understand that it's business and it's not personal. And that's why a lot of business ships go separate ways. That's a lot of time why within yourself you can't elevate, because you're taking everything so personal. I've done it, and I realized that I was the one stressing. I was the one upset, ready to pop off, and the other person has gone on to the next. So you cannot allow that also to get in the way of what you are. And Janine, you are also a graphic designer. Can you give any tips or anything based off of what we just talked about as well? Because I know you are on the call. Janine is someone that helps me as well, and we kind of piggyback off each other. So can you give any information, share anything?
Okay, I'm sorry. You said get some information about as far as branding,
Yes.
or well, that's really why I'm here too, because I want to make sure that I can also give my clients the best direction as far as like I know how to make sure like the colors patterns are very important. Also, very sure about target audience. That's very important, and learning that from you, learning how to give up what clients are important and I mean, not so much more as which customers are important versus making a customer versus a client. Because you could do a job for someone, but they don't have to be a long-term person, which in your business. You could, I've done plenty of those. I've learned how to say no, because a lot of us are sometimes scared of the word no. I think the best advice, what I love about this, is that you all are just taking a step, like not being afraid, because sometimes we hold ourselves back, just saying that, oh no, I don't, like the young lady said earlier about likes and stuff like that. But people are always watching. People are just rude. They don't always like your photos or your statuses, but they see you, and if you continue to do it, trust me, people are going to see you.
Another thing too, with the likes and stuff, I like to also do videos. I like to throw videos in there because you will be able to see who watched the video. You won't be able to see who like you. You only won't get a notification only if they like it. But with a video, you can see how many people view it. So that's again, like I told you earlier, you guys earlier, that videos are very, very important. Create that content for the videos. Also, too, this stood out to me. We have to know our worth. We have to know, hey, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I travel. So therefore, these are my prices. And it's as simple as that. You have to know, you have to set those things in place. You have to have a speaker sheet. I have speaker sheets as well, to what it shows, what I talk about, what's my key points. If I'm a keynote speaker, this is what it costs. If I'm traveling, if I'm bringing someone with me, like all of those play factors. It's just like authors. You have to make sure that you have all the information on your website, all the information together so that so everyone is there. Also, too, I don't know if you guys have this, but I wanted to bring this up. We talked about business cards earlier, but I also wanted to know, does anyone know what a virtual business card is? Or do you have a virtual business card? Anyone? So a virtual business card, I have a virtual business card. It's here on my phone. So what happens is, let's say I'm at a networking event and I walk into the room and it's time for us to get up to, talk about who we are, the services that we provide. I'm able to immediately send you my business card from my phone to yours. If you have an iPhone, it's so much easier because you're able to airdrop it. I've done this in the airport. I've done this in the stores. I'll turn my airdrop on and it automatically starts, generating the people that has their airdrops on, and I'll just start sending it to them. I know it may seem creepy, but I have gotten a lot of leads from that as well. So on my virtual business card, it has what I offer, how to contact me, how to socialize with me on social media, as well as my website, straight to the point, just like a regular business card. But with this, it's going straight to someone's phone. Everyone picks up their phone. Everyone has their phones in their keys when they don't have anything else. So I can be just strolling through my gallery trying to see my kids, and then there's your business card. Then it reminds me, hey, I need to contact Jessica because I want her to be a speaker for my next event because I have a virtual business card. Nowadays, people are not keeping up with business cards. And I don't know, thousands of people business cards. But this is just because I collect things like that. But you have to make sure that you're standing apart and that you are staying up on the trends. A lot of times we fall behind because we're not staying up on the trends. I thank God for my teenagers because they keep me up on the trend, especially with TikTok right now. Again, that's a video. So everyone's engaging in TikTok. Has anyone on the call or on the webinar did any TikToks since we've been in quarantine? No TikToks?
I haven't done any personally, but my 4-year-old great nephew hooked me to TikTok and I can't stay off of it. So he has me recording him. He knows everything about it. And it's so funny, but it's like you said, gotta keep up with the trends. I'm not sure which link you got your virtual business card, but I need that because I tried it before, but I don't have mine anymore.
Yes, you have different links, and I can show you guys as well. You have different apps out there too that holds virtual business cards, or even I know CC and I are working on this, the QR codes and different things like that, so where you can just point and click. So I know with some of the virtual business cards, they cost just like the QR codes, but it's like a minimal fee. It's small, but those are definitely great to have in 2020. So we've talked about everything that you need in order to make sure that you're clear, that you know what you offer, that you know who you are, that you know your core values, that you have your elements in order to put those core values in place for the world to see. We've talked about how to stay afloat. We've talked about how to use what you have where you are and build from that. So also inside the booklet, we have a social media plan. Today, I'm not going to go over the social media plan, but I wanted to know, want you guys to know that if you download the social media plan, you will be able to see all kind of different strategies, times to post, how to build that content for you to post. Also inside here, you're able to see one of my friends, she's in Jacksonville. She created a workbook, or she created my financial budget, and it's this thick. It is thick, and it has all kind of different information about how to budget, your monthly budget, things of that nature. But she also sent over just a small breakdown inside here about financial literacy. That is important. You want to make sure that you're building, that you have finances in place, and you also want to make sure that you're not just quitting your job and going straight to full time, because you have to have stability. You have to have some income. All of this information is inside of the Plan Your Brand workbook or the tool book. Before we end, does anyone have any questions, so I can tell you guys what's next?
Okay, I'm just ready for a total rebrand. So I'll be getting in touch with you so we can get some things together. I've kind of been writing down some stuff, especially when it comes to making everything cohesive, having many things under that one brand. Because just through talking, I kind of realized that, the different colors and not having that basis to refer back to, and knowing that when you see that brand, that's Jessica, that's her brand, So I've seen a lot that I need to change. So basically, yeah, we'll be getting together because I just need a total redo, and so much stuff is just coming to light. And I just appreciate you for taking the time to break everything down for us.
Thank you. Yeah, also to make sure that you are inside the Plan Your Brand Facebook group, because I'm going to, so at the beginning of the year, I'm just kind of go back and kind of tell y'all why I started the 2020 brand recharge package. God showed me in the beginning that I needed structure of 2020. I needed structure. I had so many clients all over the world. It was stressing me out. I was glad that I had the clients, but I didn't have any structure. I was getting behind. I was staying up, trying to get work done. And really, I wasn't getting anything done. And God came to me and he's like, Kimberly, you need to get it together. In order for you to get it, when you get it together, the people attached to you will get it together. So in 2020, I wanted to take 20 people, 20 brands, and help them build structure. I wanted to be able to help them get recharged, get them remotivated to just be who they were and be who God created them to be. So that's where the 2020 brand recharge package came about. So inside the group, I will be posting videos. I'll be posting different information about branding, so that it'll help you shift into who you are and to what you are created to be. So I need you guys to do something. I want you to either take a picture of something that you downloaded, maybe it's this, maybe take a picture of the group, maybe, or whatever that you have learned from this. And I want you to tag me in it. I want you to send it to me, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick someone from what you have done or what you've learned, and I'm going to give them 2 free hours to plan their brand with me. And within those 2 hours, you'll be able to pick my brain. You'll be able to ask me questions. You'll be able to also learn and have that one-on-one time, so that you have brand structures and that you have a consistent brand. So again, if you take a picture, whether it's a screenshot, whether it's something that you wrote down, and tag me in it, Kimberly Howard on Facebook, on Instagram, Studio by Cat, and that way tomorrow, or within the next few days, I will be able to pick someone. Also, I want you guys to make sure that you are applying what you learned today to your brand. I hope that something was said so that you are able to understand, like, hey, I knew that, but I forgot. So let me go back and revisit. Let me go back and hit the reset button, as CC say. Also, I will be sending out an email to you guys that will have a roadmap. It's going to help you target everything. It's going to show you how to get from here to there within your brand. So that's going to be sent out within the next few days. And also some information on how to join the CAD Academy. And inside the CAD Academy is where I'll be doing one-on-one videos, webinars, showing you how to build brand structure, showing you how to just know, okay, so what's next? I have my logo, so what's next? What do I do next? How can I go to the next step in my brand? Also, know that whatever you put your mind to, whatever it is, you can achieve it. It just takes structure, and it takes strategy, and it takes planning. So does anyone have any questions at this time? Anybody have any questions? Kawana, do you have anything that you would like to say to the ladies that's on the call that's in the hair industry?
I'm going to say this, and I know they be out there, but I'm going to say when it comes to finding the hair vendor for your hair company, pick your own vendors. I know there's people out here selling these vendors lists. I'm going to say, I ain't going to say all of them, but a lot of people can't be trusted. And the only way you're going to know is if you actually test these vendors yourself. And when I say test these vendors yourself, actually do like your own research when it comes to this hair, because, okay, I can give you an email address or a WhatsApp number to XYZ. And I know, and most of you probably know too, if you have good pictures of your product on your website, on your Instagram, anywhere, and now they have programs where you can remove watermarks.
That's right.
And all of a sudden somebody that sold you these different vendors, and it's like, then so now you're like, okay, I'm gonna order from this vendor, and then you order from that person, and just to come to find out, like, oh no, it's not even a vendor that you thought you was getting. Or even if they just give you a list of vendors, then all of a sudden, what if the vendors are trash anyway? Now you don't waste the money when you could have did your own research. I feel like, because I can tell you right now, I started looking at vendors, I don't know, probably like in 2010, 2011. And did I spend a lot of money? Yes, but I found some vendors that I worked with and I really liked them. And we have a good working relationship. But I say it's nothing like doing your own research and work, because I see a lot of, because I follow a lot of them just to see, and I be like, a lot of them actually, if you just do a couple of Google searches, you can find these vendors without paying these people these amounts of dollars that they're asking. Because I've been seeing people asking for almost $300 for a vendor list, or even sometimes almost $200 just for one vendor. And I know Kim has told me that I probably should do like a hairology 101 for women who want to start hair businesses. And I really firmly been thinking about it, because I'd rather do a class like that and show you how you can navigate these vendors, one, without always having to put out money for them, and two, without having to, and sometimes you can get free samples from vendors without actually having to send money. So I know, like, a lot of these different vendor list companies are like, oh no, we got these vendors, and they can promise you that it's somebody who is well known in the industry. But the thing is, what if your customer base don't even like that type of hair? Because not all hair is made equal, and not everybody likes certain types of the different textures of certain hair. Just know what you're trying to sell and go with that.
That's right.
And a lot of time I've noticed a lot of like, it's a lot of different things that they sell on these different vendors lists, i.e. like different graphic designers, or it's one that I just keep seeing, and it keep popping up, like I keep seeing it as a sponsored ad on Instagram. There's a young lady who makes business cards that look like credit cards. They are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's getting me is it's not even her, and it's so easy to find her, because I can't even think of her name. I think her company is called Shea Made It or something. But I see a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these vendors list people that are selling vendors lists. are saying, oh, we can get you this vendor's information. And all I'm thinking is like, actually, a quick Google search will actually bring her up. And then it's actually a lot of other companies that do this. But of course, I actually know a lady that gets her cards made by her. And it's not, to me, it's like, are they really nice? Yes. But if you already have a good relationship with your graphic designer, and just ask your graphic designer, they might have a connect to get some of those made where you can just be like, hey, I seen these and I would like this, and I would, I'm thinking I would like to have something like this for whatever position it is in your business. It don't have to be used for a business card, because I know I spoke to Kim about having some made, but I actually want them for VIP access on my site for when I run sales. And if you have a card, it'll have a number for you, and that'll be your number to get your discount on the sale. So it, if you, a lot of stuff that these people are selling these vendors lists for, please believe it's not hard to find. Most of the time, it's a Google search away. Like, my number one thing, I always say, Google is your friend. And will it take time? Yes. Will it take money? Sometimes. But I say it's worth it. Then because I've heard horror stories of people buying some of these vendors lists, and they are very upset at the end of the day, because what they get is some vendors they already know, that they probably already tried, and they just weren't satisfied, so they didn't want to use them. So that's why, like, when it comes to people selling these vendor lists, sometimes it's like, I can say it's probably about 3 companies I see that sell vendors lists that, if I wasn't already where I am and like and I was like, well, I'm just gonna start this, I would probably be like, oh, I might think about it, like, let me go ahead and do this over here. But not a lot of them are just like, I think they're buying from other people and recycling them over.
So the main important thing out of everything is to make sure that you are doing your homework, make sure that you are researching, make sure that you are not afraid to step out on faith, and not even just that you knowing that you have to invest in whatever your brand is, whatever your passion is. You have to know that nothing easy comes overnight, but you have to make sure that you have all the key elements, everything that you need, from your fundamentals to your strategies to your access to your everything, to make sure that it's authentic, that it's consistent, and that it identifies with who you are and your core services as values. Because again, like I told you earlier, if you're confused, then your customers are confused. If your customers are confused, then you lose a sale, then you lose a potential client. So let's make sure moving forward that we are clear on our brand, that we're clear on our missions, that we're clear on the products and the services that we offer, and that we are, most importantly, we are clear on who we are, so that moving forward into 2020 and past 2020, that we are able to retain clients, that we're able to build long-lasting relationships with our clients and our customers, so that we all can elevate. Because if you win, I win. If I win, we all win, and it's a win-win thing. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that I'm pushing each and every one of you out of your comfort zone. Nothing comes within your comfort zone, nothing at all. I'm here to help elevate you to the next level, as well as I want to let each and every one of you know that I'm learning something from each and every one of you. I have learned something from each and every one of you. I know that without you guys, there could not be Studio by Cad. I could not go on. I could not be who I am without each and every one of you all. So we all play a role together. Again, make sure that you're inside that Plan Your Brand with Kimberly and Group, so that you can ask questions. If there are any questions from today that I missed, I'm going to go back and answer them in there. I'm also going to send out an email within the next few days. It's going to have a roadmap of a brand strategy. You're also going to be able to win 2 free hours of brand clarity with me by just posting a picture. What I would like for you guys to do, and this is kind of far-fetched, if you guys could all hide your faces, because I want to take a screenshot. I kind of saw, because I was talking in and out, I think I might have saw maybe up to 14 people in the group at one point. I think it's 9 right now. But since you all stayed throughout the entire group or the entire webinar, I'm going to be sending you guys something as well in your emails here within the next few days. So like I said, if you could just show your faces so I can do a screenshot. I think Nisha, got an alert on my phone. I think she already sent something already. And if you don't want to show your face, just hold up a book or whatever, something. I just want to be able to just do a screenshot and just, I want you guys to know that I'm excited. I'm excited. The next webinar is going to be for book authors. I see it, sis. Oh, yeah, Rolanda is my sister. I love her to death. She keeps me calm. She keeps me pushing. She's there for me, and I thank God for her every day. So, Janine, you're the only one I can't see. If you don't want to, it's okay. But just hold up. I don't know, your T-shirt.
I think my computer don't have the camera.
Oh, okay, I see your name, so I'm gonna do screenshot.
But I did want to piggyback off of something Kawana had said real quick when she was talking about how people should input their graphic designer. Hold on, baby. So I was like, they do. I want, as a designer, I want to be a part of the big picture, and that's my ultimate goal. So me learning how to do that is my biggest goal right there.
That's right. And that's the thing, you know, your biggest, you have to look past right now, and you have to understand that it's a bigger picture. Right now, I'm kind of confused. I don't know my mission. I don't understand well, but I do know my audience. So just use what you have and start putting it together. Don't stress over something that you don't understand, because it will come. It will come. So I enjoy you all. I am going to go ahead and end the webinar. If you guys don't have any other questions, I thank you. I pray that God continue to bless you all. Also, at the end of the toolkit, there is a prayer that I put in there, and I also put, in order to become the 1%, you have to do what the other 99 won't. So you have to get up when no one else wants to get up. You have to outwork them. This saying that I always say and that I always use, you can say anything about Kimberly Ann, but you never say that she quit, because I am not a quitter. It's not in my blood. It's not in my DNA. I was born to push, kind of stubborn, but hey, that's okay, because I know that I am going to the next level. And if you are attached to me, I'm taking you to the next level. So I love you guys, and I'm excited to work with you. I pray that something was said. And if you guys don't have any other questions, we're going to go ahead and end the call. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What's the name of the group, please?
It's Plan Your Brand with Kimberly Ann. It should be in
okay.
bio, well, in the chat. If it's not, I'll send it to you, or either I'll request you to join. Charlie, I think you put it over.
Okay.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, I see it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.